I'm Yoshi, Orange Yoshi, and welcome to my 2025 Pokemon Plush Collection Showcase. So, throughout the years, I have accumulated quite a bit of Pokemon plushies, and today I'm going to show you them all, generation by generation. And yes, Pokemon Survivor Episode 2 will be out very, very soon, by the end of the year. But for now, let's start with Generation 1. Starting off, we have this WCT Bulbasaur plush, which was one of the first I ever got, and it's in a little bit bad condition, but it's okay. Next up, we also have this WCT Bulbasaur plush, except it's from my friend, and it's like a lot newer, and this is the one that's used in Pokemon Survivor, so... Next up, we have this WCT Charmander plush, which is really lit, literally. I'm really sorry, I don't know why I said that. And next up we have this Tomy Charmander plush, which I don't really like the Tomy plushies that much, but I really do love how fluffy the tail is. This is a WCT Squirtle plush, which was also one of my first ones. This is my Tomy Pikachu plush, and even though I don't really like Tomy, this is the one I chose for Pokemon Survivor because all the other ones are like special and have like little... you'll see. But yeah, also the tail's coming off and I really don't like that. This is my WCT Santa Pikachu. It's the first Pikachu I got. I actually think that one's the most recent, ironically. But the hat's coming off, which I don't like. That's the issue with a lot of my old ones. Like, they all have little issues like that because I got them when I was like 9. This is a WCT Pikachu plush holding a cupcake, which I really like. I actually got this as a Secret Santa gift for a musical I was in, so that's pretty cool. This is a Raichu plush. I actually don't know what brand this is. It says Pocket Monsters. I don't know if this is off-brand or not, but I mean, I like it. Looks good. Also, I'm pretty sure I have a Pikachu keychain somewhere, but it wasn't in the bin when I dumped it out, so I don't really know where that is, but hopefully I find it eventually. Moving past the Pikachus, this is my Sitting Cuties Ninetales plush, and I actually really like the Sitting Cuties line just because, I don't know how to explain it, but I love, like, things that are all, like, similar, but, like, they're all, like, different. Sorry, I don't know how I explained that so awfully, but, you know, I just, like, love them. This is my WCT Jigglypuff plush that I got from the same friend that gave me the second Bulbasaur. So this is my Meowth plush. I don't know what brand this is, and if I'm being honest, I actually don't even remember where I got this from, even though it was like kind of recent. But yeah, it's pretty lit, even though this is like papery. This is a Psyduck plush that I always assumed was Tomy, but actually, like, now that I'm touching it compared to the other Tomy ones, like, I actually don't know what brand this is. A fun fact about this one though is that this is one of 2 plushies that I bought specifically for Pokemon Survivor, and after episode 1 released, I contacted the seller and sent them the link, and they actually watched it and subscribed, so I think that's pretty cool. This is a Rapidash Sitting Cuties plush, and this is the other plush that I bought specifically for Pokemon Survivor, so that's pretty cool. This is my WCT Gengar plush, and it's like so much bigger than the rest of them. Like, I'd love to have a pillow of this. I think that would be pretty cool. This is my Sitting Cuties Cubone plush, and actually the first Sitting Cuties plush I ever got, and I'm pretty sure the first non-duplicate one here that is not in Pokemon Survivor. But a fun fact is that Cubone was actually in the original cast, but I lost him somehow in like such a crazy spot, like the day that I was going to start filming, so he was replaced by Raichu, which actually worked out since I like Raichu's character, so, but that's kind of cool. This is my Sitting Cuties Horsey plush, of course with her phone! This is my WCT Ditto plush. Spoiler alert, the unfortunate first boot of Pokemon Survivor. This is my, I'm pretty sure, WCT Eevee plush. I don't know, but I really like how it looks, like the standing and stuff. This is one of my newest Pokemon plushies, and I'm pretty sure it might be the newest as of when I started filming Pokemon Survivor, but it's my WCT Jolteon plush. I think WCT. I don't really know the brands like that well. But I do know that this is definitely WCT, my WCT Mew plush that I got from the same friend that I got my Jigglypuff and second Bulbasaur from. And Raichu, I don't know if I said that. And that is it for Kanto, Gen 1. And if you couldn't tell, like, the theme, I guess, for Season 1 of Pokemon Survivor is that it's all Kanto, so the whole cast is here, so every plush you see from here on out is going to be never before seen on Yosiify. So it's time for Generation 2. Starting off Generation 2 with an explosion is my Sitting Cuties Cyndaquil plush, who I just love so much. Like, it's one of my favorite starters. Next up, we have a WCT Totodile plush. Next up, we have this Oli Factory branded Noctowl plush. I know this is like off-brand, and if I remember correctly, it's like a really bad brand to buy from, But I don't know, I got it at like a fair when I was like 13, so lol. Next up we have this Tomy Pichu plush, which was technically one of my first Pokemon plushies, because me and my sister got 2 for Christmas, and she eventually like gave me hers. This was hers, because she like didn't want it, and I think I did. Next we have this Wobbuffet plush, who I didn't know until like I got this plush, but the tail is alive. That's really scary. This is so bad, it's gonna like block everything. I wish I could put it in the back, but then that would like mess up everything. Next we got this Oli Factory Quillfish plush that I got along with the Noctowl. Again, I don't really know how good this company is, but I mean, it does the job. Next we have this Sitting Cutie Shuckle plush, one of my favorite Pokemon. Like, just look at that face. And rounding out Gen 2, we have this Tomy Delibird plush. Pretty lit. So that concludes Gen 2, so it's time to start Gen 3, aka Hoenn. Starting off, Hoenn is the Sitting Cuties Trico plush. One of the first Sitting Cuties I ever got, and I really like Trico, so this is really cool. Trico was my first ever Pokemon card, which I don't really collect, but it's worth noting, I guess. Next we have this Tomy Torchic plush, which is really dirty, but it makes sense because this was my first ever Pokemon plush. I got it for Christmas 2014 probably, along with that Pichu. Well, my sister got that Pichu. And lastly for Hoenn, we have this Sitting Cuties Why Not plush, which I just found out right now is not in Gen 2. I thought Why Not and Wobbuffet were like in the same generation. I didn't realize Why Not was added later. So I guess you learn something new every day. And it still has the weird tail, but it has one eye. And that's it. Hoenn's one of my favorite generations, yet I only have 3 plushies of it, so it's on to Gen 4, Sinnoh. Kicking off Gen 4 is the Sitting Cuties Chimchar plush. Chimchar's not really one of my favorites, but I really like the starters, so I'm happy I have it. Alternatively, we have this Pocket Monsters brand Piplup, which I think is the same brand as that Raichu, so that explains that. But I love Piplup so much. So, sorry Chimchar, but Piplup's my pick. Next up, we have this Sitting Cuties Kricketot plush, which is really cool. I like Kricketot, pretty underrated. No clue what brand this is, it just says Pokemon, but we have this Shinx plush. It's definitely unique, but I got it for free at this random store, so I can't really complain. Next up, I don't think this is Tomy, but it's definitely a Tomy vibe Pachirisu plush with this little hangy thing I can put on my Christmas tree. And then we have this WCT Riolu plush, which I really like. Looks pretty badass. And I just realized I had my WCT Fanpy plush mixed up with the Gen 4s, so sorry about that. It's going to go right over here. So with that, it's on to the Gen 5s. Kicking off Gen 5, we have my Sitting Cuties Oshawott plush, which is also one of my favorite starters, and I got this at Nintendo New York, which is a place I've always wanted to go to, and I was so excited when I went. Next up, we have this Sitting Cuties Zebstrika plush, which is a Pokemon I really like, and I really like its plush too. Seems like it's a different material from the rest of them though. Next up, we have this Oli Factory Heatmore plush, which I did not get with the 2 Gen 2 ones. I guess I just never learned my lesson, but it's also Oli Factory from the same fair. And already that wraps up Gen 5, so it's on to Gen 6, which is Kalos. So unfortunately I only have 2 Gen 6, so this is going to be a pretty quick round, but starting off we have this, I think it's just a Pokemon Center Froakie plush, and I really like Froakie, so I really love this plush. And finally for Gen 6 I have this Sitting Cuties Pancham plush, which I got at the mall, and it's really cool. And with that, it's on to Gen 7 Alola, also one of my favorite regions. Starting off Alola, we have this slightly deformed, sorry, I don't know what happened with that, Poplio Keychain plush, which I really like, and I should probably put it on my backpack again. Next we have this probably off-brand Wishiwashi plush, but I actually like it a lot, I don't know. And finally we have this Oli Factory Mudbray plush, which you guessed it, I got it at the same fair as the other ones. So that wraps up Gen 7, and it's time for Gen 8 Galar, the first region in which I was, like, actually involved in the community when it was released. First up, we have this WCT Grookey plush. I really like the twig in its hair. I think that's kind of cute. Next up, we have my favorite Pokemon of all time. It's my WCT Scorbunny plush. I just love Scorbunny so much. I'm so obsessed with this plush. And this is my WCT Sobble plush, which means this and Gen 1 are my only 2 generations where I have all 3 starter plushies. But I just love the Gen 8 starters, like, I don't know. Next up we have this Pokemon Dolls Corviknight plush, which almost looks like a Sitting Cutie, but I actually kind of like how it looks, how it's like bigger. Next we have this WCT Yamper plush, who I also really like. I love the like little yellow like fur thing around his neck. That's just so cute. Next up we have Peak in Pokemon plush form. It's Snom, one of the highlights of the Galar region. Still don't know what brand this is. Oh, it says Bandai, but it's actually like super lit. Rounding out Gen 8, we have the newest plush in my Pokemon plush collection, this WCT Morpeko plush. I got it on Black Friday because I shop for myself. I don't know if that's weird, but I do my Christmas shopping online. So yeah, I got this on Black Friday. And that rounds out Gen 8, so it's time for the final generation as of now, because Gen 10 is probably coming next year, but it is Gen 9, aka Paldea. Starting off Gen 9, we have this Sprigatito WCT plush, which is one of the newest in my collection. Next up, we have this Pokemon Dolls, I think, Fuecoco plush. I just love how like derp it looks. Like I know I'm using that word in 2025, but just like look at it. And finally, for the Paldea region, we have this WCT Fido plush, which I accidentally left the price on. Apparently it was $14.99, which is actually really cheap. Well, in terms of Pokemon plushies, so that's actually really cool. And that's it for the actual Pokemon, but I do have one more super lit Mega Bus plush to show you. Yeah, it's just a Tomy Great Ball. Sorry to get your hopes up, lol. And that is it. That is my entire 2025 Pokemon plush collection. Hopefully, when I make this collection showcase next year, it'll have expanded even more, and maybe Pokemon Survivor will be finished if I don't take another 6-month break in between episodes, which I promise won't happen again. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for my Beanie Boo collection video, because I have a lot of those, and Pokemon Survivor Episode 2, which will be coming out later this month, so please watch that and like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!